right.
Never a dull moment with you, is there, Mr. Stephen Howson? Especially on a Friday afternoon.
Why do the accountants always ring on a Friday?
Don't know. I've never had any. Never had to worry about
I
that.
can't even tell you what's happened because some cunt will take it out of context.
Anyway, any road.
For fuck's sake. All right.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You all right?
Smashing.
Good. Good to hear it.
Right, what do they want us to talk about?
Obviously, the 1991.
No, what do they want us to
Oh,
talk
right.
about?
United and titles. And do we get enough credit?
Okay, what are we actually talking about?
What was, for you, the best performance in the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup run? Was it Montpellier? Or did you have to go with Barca?
No,
Yeah.
I think Montpellier away.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's hipster in it to say Montpellier away, but realistically, Johan Cruyff, Ronald Koeman,
Come on. Yeah.
Tixi Bajiristan.
Bajiristan, yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think you're
Do you know
right
what?
now.
I was watching Soccer Box earlier.
Any good?
Gary Neville.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Who was on with him?
Sir Ryan of Giggs.
Oh, that's a good one.
What I found very interesting with it is, and I wonder if it's only because they've got Premier League rights and not.
Champions League and FA Cup rights.
Well, oh no, the Football League rights.
Oh, right. Ah.
Because they talked about his debut.
Right.
Didn't show it.
Really?
Yeah. His debut was against City.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But they showed the 93-94 one, where we come back from 2-0 down.
That's quality.
Won £9 on that, mate.
Did ya?
It's big money when I'm 9
How
years
old are you then?
age.
About to
9.
say, I was only 14, so you must have been a bit younger than me, yeah?
So I was at my Uncle Steve's house.
Yeah.
Also called Stephen Howson.
Good stuff.
He's a truck driver.
Is it? Of course he is.
And we all had a pound in for first goal scorer. Well, who scored first?
Niall Quinn.
Yep. And then who scored second?
Niall Quinn.
Correct. Did any of us have Niall Quinn? No, but I had a quid on Eric Cantona. so I won the pot. £9.
That was so good, that.
Bought a fur coat and a car.
Here's one for you, Stay. Where do you stand, right, when you look back at results, on results that didn't lead to any trophies, right? Just bear me out, because I have a bit of an issue sometimes. Like, you know, when you go back and look at, say, the derby, for example, the 4-3, like, that's like a lot of people, that's their favourite derby, the greatest ever derby and all that. It's not for me, because I always have that little thing of, like, we didn't win the title that season. The Rooney overhead kick, we did. The Robin Van Persie last-minute free kick, we did. So it diminishes it a little bit for me. Obviously, it's a great result, and I love it.
I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? That's just a thing that I have, because I had to do a debate once with someone, and they were like, oh, you're going to say the foot. And I was like, I'm not just saying this, but I'm not, like, in terms of the derby, because I still have that thing that still didn't win the league that year. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know if it's me, or does that ever play in your thinking?
If it was a cup final, yeah. So, for example, Rooney and Barcelona,
Yeah.
I would go, I can't really love that goal as much as I would if it won the game.
Because you're not a Spurs
Imagine
fan
that
or
won the
someone.
game.
Yeah.
Imagine that won the game. What a fucking goal.
Oh, mate, come on. There's him as well.
Yeah.
Who you'd had this bit of criticism, because like people like to find only some criticism to aim at United players. Or like, well, he's not scored against Barcelona in the final. Well, he has now.
Yeah, well, who else?
Yeah.
Not
Do you know
many.
what I mean?
Mark Hughes did.
Yeah, twice.
Well played. But
All roads lead to that.
all roads lead to that.
That's just the way it
all
is.
roads lead. Right. I will make United signing Jordi Cruyff. I'll link it to that. It's a pretty easy one to link, but I will link it.
You will. You do this all the time. He does this all the time in the office. He loves it. But no, like it bothers me, like, because some games, like, I look back and I go, great result, but I think I can't remember if it was Robin Van Persie.
Less so in the
similar.
league. Less so in the league because there's 38 games every season in the league, and you have to
Yeah.
enjoy those. And
Right, yeah.
can you imagine like going telling the next generation ahead of us or behind us, in front of us, whichever one you want to do, but that generation telling them that all of Brian Robson's goals and games didn't exist.
Yeah, that's a
Do you
good.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I get your point.
Cup
there.
finals, I'll roll with you.
Yeah.
On that it can diminish a goal or a performance in a cup final, but
When you look back, like
games-
when you look at PSG, obviously he was over there smashing up the gaff. Literally, that's not an exaggeration. Go and check it out. He starts smashing up the office, and fair enough. What else are you gonna do?
out of joy,
Applaud.
How happy are you to
that's
smash
nice.
things up
Yeah.
out of joy?
That's a great result.
Didn't ask permission.
Yeah. Imagine doing that. Yeah.
Not in
But
my
like
fucking
when you
house.
look back at that game, is it still like you still have that feeling of I was mint? Like you don't think I look
We
back
didn't
at
win the Champions League that year.
yeah,
Fuck no.
No, that's what I mean. Like it doesn't bother you. Like fair enough. It's just sometimes I think like maybe it's just a bit of a thing with that particular game. But
and like Aaron says, 99% of teams don't win trophies, and you can't tell them to just dismiss their entire fandom.
No, I'm not saying like.
Is that what you're saying, Jay?
I'm not saying.
Sounds like that's what you're saying.
It's not. I don't look back at the 4-3 and go, "That was fucking mint." It was, and I loved it, and I remember it brings back those memories. But I always prefer the games when I look back, say at Derby. I prefer like the Robin van Persie one because I know not only did we beat them, but we also that more or less sealed the title, even though it was only October or whatever it was. When I look back at the Rooney overhead kick, that was more or less the end of any sort of slim chance they had of winning the title that season, and more or less give it us. So those I hold in higher esteem than. Like you say there with the Wayne Rooney goal in Barcelona, it's a better goal probably than...
Well, Bruce against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
But there you go. There's your reaction.
That's my favourite goal ever.
Great goals that win great games.
Yeah.
Such as Ryan Giggs in 1999.
Yeah.
That's where you get the pinnacle. That's where you get the...
That's a great shout, because, Ollie's goal in the Nou Camp isn't a great goal, but it's probably one of our favourite ever goals.
Shit. And if you're talking technique, difficulty...
Or even better, Sheringhams even better because of the two sort of what leads up to it.
Pretty much hits it with his heel.
Like Giggs mishits it and then he mishits it.
Yeah, they all count.
Yeah, and it counts. That's what I mean. But it's probably one of the greatest goals ever in terms of what it means to us. So yeah, it's always one of those where I always differentiate. I just wondered what your take is on it. And what we were going to talk about, if you can...
No, we're not doing it. I'm going to derail it.
All right, go on.
So, yeah, they had Ryan Giggs on. They was talking two Manchester
derbys. I forgot about
it.
Go on.
One was 1994. The next one's 2011. What the fuck? And he was instrumental in both of them games, by the way.
Right. 2011 was the next one. Oh, was that the Michael Owen, the pass for Michael Owen? Come on.
Not just that. So they actually kind of show, like, Ryan Giggs' highlights of him in that game, and you go, he was fucking belling.
I can barely remember any of that game other than the goals. I remember... foaming at the mouth at Ben Foster.
Yeah. I was foaming at the mouth watching fucking Paddy Evra on the replay up there. What is he doing?
Yeah. It's mad, you forget about these things, but now you mention it. Was that the one where the lad got on the pitch and had a go with Craig Bellamy?
Oh, yeah, might have been.
Yeah.
And Rio slung him off, I think.
Yeah, there was that one there. Yeah. It all went off that game, didn't it? It was mad.
I ended up in Solihull, I think, after that. I mean, literally from the celebration of the goal. I'm exaggerating, but I from my seat, from my seat, I was fucking in another block. Mate. Like I was definitely in another block.
Yeah.
That's one of the most celebrated goals I've seen at Old Trafford. There was Scholes against the Scousers in about 2006. Weird. I don't know why, but there was a real weird atmosphere about it. That might be because they drew their way to a Champions League. Might have been that. Might have been something else. I can't remember what it was at the time, but that was a big one. Makeda's goal.
Yeah.
Scholes is against Barcelona.
Scholes
There's been a few absolute just bedlam goals, pure arms and legs. But the winner of Michael Owen's winner in that, because I'm in K-Stand, I was in K-Stand for 14 years before I moved to the Stretford end a few years ago. City are there.
Yeah.
City are 20 metres from me. They've gone ballistic at the equaliser that they got. Fucking Bellamy. They've gone, honestly, and I literally remember saying to the lad who's just standing next to me, Stu, his lad plays for United now. I'm not going to give his name away.
All right, fair enough.
But if he's a fucking a very blonde kid comes through in a couple of years.
Remember the name.
Because there's not many blonde kids come through. So
right.
I think he's probably all right, yeah. And he's fucking rapid. Anyway, so I remember saying to him, do you ever celebrate a fucking draw like that? Like, look at the fucking state of them.
State of them.
And then from where I am in K-Stand, you can see the channel where Joe Giggs saw with Owen. But from where we are, you can't tell the depth. So you're like, is he offside there? Is he onside there? Yeah. So you kind of like not... And then he plays it through. I don't even think I remembered fucking seeing it in the back of the net. We were gone. Just fucking, let's have it. We're out of here. Fucking, come on.
Yeah, that was a mint one. It's funny enough. One of my earliest memories, if not my earliest memory, is one of the most celebrated goals as well. And it'll make you laugh because it's the Rumbelows Cup, Steve. Like,
fan of the Rumbelows Cup, mate.
It's against the Scousers in 1990 when they were like the champions. And I'll never forget my dad took me midweek, obviously. And I remember the carnage when Mark Hughes, funnily enough, scored a long range goal to sort of seal it. And I remember like my dad stood on this bit of the seat, going berserk, and everyone around me going berserk, and like just limbs everywhere. And I was like, it's mint. That and Mark Hughes again. It's Mark Hughes' show, naturally. His equaliser in '94. That was up there as well against Oldham in the semi-final of the FA Cup.
Well, yeah, that was an away game. Yeah, I'm thinking more of the home.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, you home.
With
yeah.
RH in the comments.
Up the RH.
With oh mate, what was it?
Do you think RH has been working with Fred on his shooting?
Fucking would put out my name to that.
He had a good shot against Arsenal.
He did.
He did. And he got away with one that got blocked, I think, against was it Southampton or was it Arsenal still, when it was going out for a throw-in.
Fred's a really good footballer if you don't let him shoot.
He did one, I can't remember if it was Arsenal or Southampton, where he shot and it went out, or it was going out, it might have actually got out almost for throwing. Then he turned to someone near him and shouted at him. Like,
Good tactic, that.
Like,
proper good tactic, that.
Like that's look what you've made me do.
Was it Ince who scored the first goal against Blackburn in '93? Blackburn?
Was it not Giggs with the free kick? Because they scored first with Kevin Gallagher, didn't they? Then I think Giggs scored a free kick.
Was it then Ince and Pallister?
Yes, I think so.
I think it was the one that put us in front.
Was that Ince then?
I was 10.
I was 13. I can't remember.
It went off that much because we was in the.
I don't remember it as well because Ince was my favourite player.
Not quite built. Stretford end.
Ince celebrated, so it was either him or Giggs. I remember them two celebrating that.
Stupid dance.
Mate, it doesn't stand the test of time very well.
It wasn't great at the time, although I definitely did it at a play.
Yeah, of course. Everyone did. But now when you see like grown men doing these knee things, and
do you reckon you know it?
That's a great question.
I know it.
Do you know it?
I know it.
Oh no, mate, I can't.
Outside of your right knee,
yeah.
Outside of your left knee,
yeah.
Smack.
Yeah. Yeah. People who don't know, right, will be like, what are these two crackheads on about? Just Google Giggs in celebration and you'll see something that you all right, it's very 90s. It was all right in the 90s, not so much.
If Paul
anymore.
Pogba would have done it, Graham Souness would die.
Imagine
on
the
air.
meltdown.
He'd just die on air.
And what would be brilliant about that, right, is if Paul Pogba did that, Graham Souness would say something like, "You never see that in my day."
Yeah, and you did. Shut up, you had a perm.
Yeah.
And the Sharpie Shuffle. Do you remember the Sharpie Shuffle?
Oh yeah, that was again, oh, mate. There was that, didn't he? Yeah, there was a bit of that as well. Oh, mate.
Sharpie did all the gear, allegedly.
What's your favourite celebration, Steve?
Oops. Andy Cole, New Camp. They did a little. Is it the 1-2 or is it the other one? It's the one where he runs off.
I've got a story about that. You might know it. He runs off, doesn't he? And he runs to a sign, doesn't he?
Is it a forward sign or something?
Yeah, can you remember what the sign says?
The Galaxy.
No, it says Focus. I remember years ago doing a Q&A. Well, I wasn't doing it. I was at it with Andy Mitten and Andy Cole and Chucky, and he said that Fergie had been on about Focus. So when he scored, he just said he wasn't planned. He just saw the focus. Was like, it's like Focus.
It's a combination of that. There's a photograph which my mate Stu painted for us. Unfortunately, it looked like Kirk from Curry instead of Yap Stam. True story. And he knows this, and I've told him this. He was learning to paint. So instead of Yap Stam, he was like
Andrew Wyman, innit?
Looks like Kirk.
He's a big redder. He's big. He stands in front of it. When I was in J, he used to stand in front of me, Andrew Wyman.
So there's a picture from the corner, and it's Solskjaer and the emotion of him just like, and it's my favourite thing because it encapsulates everything just lost in the celebration. That's one of them, which I think just fucking won the Champions League.
Yeah, come on.
And here's the thing, VAR would fucking ruin that.
This is the thing, right? Because we were talking about
it wasn't, and Solskjaer's put the ball in the net. Let's go to the VAR and see if it's official.
After Sheringham, because he does the glance, doesn't he, Sheringham, when he's not peeling off to celebrate. You see him does his look across the linesman, no flag, goal.
Did they check that now?
Of course they do.
So they check that now.
Of course they do.
They've killed our momentum.
100%.
And it's extra time. Bayern Munich. It's because we're playing Germans.
Yeah, Bayern Munich have had like a 2-minute pep talk of like, right, get your heads together.
We'll have them in extra time or penalties.
Yeah, and then it's like, right, and then it goes to penalties and the Germans win.
Yeah.
So that's how football works.
That's the rules.
And we've been robbed by VAR.
Yeah. That's it. I think because of the momentum, because like we attack again.
Yeah.
Solskjaer, I think, tries to cross it because he's on the left wing for some fucking reason. Because the formation at the end was just whatever. He tries to cross it, and he fucks it up, and he stays in the same spot. which is why he ends up having the next one, which goes out for the corner.
Right.
It's a really interesting watch if you watch the last three, because it's mad.
Your boy was on fire in the last 10 minutes. Beckham. It was just
No,
fucking
you
ridiculous.
mean that whole season?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the point. But he was unreal there. And he's just like, I think I seen an interview with him and he said he felt confident.
Ian says, just wondering if Jay ever found out who that woman is living in his house. He's taken her out of the my lady friend zone yet.
No, we're still, I don't ask any questions, but she's good stuff, man. She looks after the kids and all that, and she's, me and her get on well, so I'm just letting her stay there. Yeah, I mean, we're still, I'd say we're past lady friends. She's a good lady friend.
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
interesting.
Keep you posted.
Beckham's celebration after Wimbledon. Yes, someone says Cantona's chip after Southampton. It was Sunderland, but point taken.
Christopher Singh, he's on your page. Don't set him off, Chris. I don't know why I pointed that out. Why didn't Becks win Ballon d'Or that year? Every day, at some point during the day,
just kicks him
Steve,
out of frustration.
Just remembers that and throws something. Just randomly, what's up?
Is it Miguel Delaney?
Oh, he was 9 at the time, and tries to claim that despite the fact that most of those games weren't televised, despite the fact that he wasn't coming over from Ireland and going to them all, he somehow knows for a fact that how well Beckham played during the course of that season. He blocked me when I pointed that out.
Honestly, and Beckham's level of performance. There was a lot of quantity of goals.
Yeah,
but you got to remember, different era.
Yeah,
and it's a different era even now. Ronaldo 08 got 42 goals.
Yeah,
gets 50 plus now because just the way the game's just gone a bit more.
I'm with you on that.
Beckham 99 is in the fucking 30 assists range minimum.
Yeah,
the game's just done that a little bit where there's just so many more goals than ever before.
It's the thing is, right, and I get where you're coming from. See, my favourite player that season is Keane, but I think, I would say who was the best player. I've always said Keane, but I understand what you're saying. If you look at performance-wise and who put in the best performances,
I can't remember who said it.
Performance by performance. I get where you're coming from.
Judge a player on a few criteria. Consistency.
Yeah, I mean, he was mega consistent. He was faultless.
Yeah, flawless.
Yeah.
Do they turn up in big games?
Just a bit. Kind of.
Name me any game from any pivotal, especially the knockout games.
At home.
Yeah, 2 assists.
There you go. And when you talk about assists, I'm not talking about, he's hit and hoped it. I'm like, yeah, Dwight.
I'd love to actually
that
see
ball,
what his
I'm just going to put it there for you.
Just going to hang it.
Yeah. Just
get there.
Just stand there and it'll bounce off your head and go in. Yeah? Just make sure you're there. No worries. Mate, even me and you would have got a goal in that team with Beckham. Probably one.
Not loads. Not double figures.
Yeah, even for Roberto Firmino would have got some goals in that team.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Let's not be too silly. Come on, that's a bit of a silly statement.
But everyone remembers Roy Keane for the performance in Juventus.
Yeah.
Beckham's the key balls in these.
You forget about that with Beckham, and it's been overlooked slightly that Beckham was unreal in that game. He was everywhere. He's like Keane. And yeah, because Keane was more like the captain and the leader of that team, and obviously
he's a fucking blonde pretty boy banging a fucking Spice Girl.
Yeah,
he just gets dismissed for those reasons.
It does, mate. You're right. And also because Keane obviously after his yellow kept going, and he's not going to play in the final, but he keeps going.
The contrast, which rarely is talked about, is Scholes' head fell off, and he was less than useless.
And he came on, didn't he? Came on, got his yellow, and then
might as well have gone off again because he was an absolute ghost.
Gone on it, and Keane was just Roy Keane.
Yeah, Keane was like, "You're not playing in the final." He went, "All right."
I'd say who else didn't play in the final? Juventus.
But you're judging a player. Consistency.
Yeah.
Do they turn up in the big games?
100%.
And then it's the greater the opposition, the greater the performance required to overcome that opposition.
Logic.
And can you remember a big game Beckham didn't turn up in?
It's almost fashionable, like you were saying there, to dismiss him and go, Beckham though.
Just a celebrity, which is kind of what Delaney was saying.
But he wasn't though. And it's like, the thing with Beckham is...
Robbie Savage wanted to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
But he wasn't as good at football as Beckham, so it never banged.
No. And like with Beckham, there's often overlooked, his work rate was relentless. He's just constantly chasing things down, constantly trying to win the ball, always turn up in the big games. Like I think it's you that said this about his goals get overlooked because they were the first ones in the important 2-1 wins. Like Spurs, 99.
Yeah. Well, yeah, opener, puts it in the joint.
Mate, and turns to the crowd, come on, like gets everyone going.
Is it red?
Arsenal as well.
Arsenal's a world-class goal.
Sweating a 5-yarder.
It's a world-class goal. Right past David Seaman.
No one talks about.
Sit down.
No one even mentions it.
Ryan Giggs scored perhaps the greatest FA Cup goal ever about an hour later. And no one really gives a toss.
Everyone's still chanting about that.
His free kicks all
away.
Season, but specifically the ones that we had. I think he scored against Bayern Munich. He might have scored one against.
Yeah, he did. No, he scored against. He might have got
Barcelona.
Barcelona definitely.
Bromby again one.
At Old Trafford. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, Peter Kelly says, ever since the Euro Cup became the Champions League in 93, there's been a Barca Real bias when it comes to the Ballon d'Or. I've attempted to write up about it. I actually did one, but it's no longer available because the site got deleted that it was on.
Right.
Where I looked into like what you need to do to win the Ballon d'Or playing for Inter, Fiorentina, Bayern Munich, United.
Yeah.
Versus what you need to do at Barcelona, Real Madrid. And I tried to award some sort of points, or like 10 points for first, 5 points for second, like 1 point or 2 points for third. And then look at the fucking swell of votes that you get in those players. It's madness.
Right.
Barcelona didn't get out of the fucking group and Rivaldo wins it.
That's just... It is ridiculous that we didn't have your boy or even Keane or anyone like you could. There's a good question. What's his Meb? Talking about the 99 side, if you had to sell one of Giggs, Scholes, Keane and Beckham, oh God, which one would it be?
Fuck you, fight me. Which
no,
one would it be?
Yeah.
No, guess what? I don't have to sell one.
No, that's a horrible question. Yeah. No offence, mate. I get where you're coming from.
You're literally saying to someone, which of your kids are you going to kick in the face? None of them. Quite like them.
Did you not have an answer in your head, though? Was that just me? Move on. I'm only joking. I don't advocate
Ian's
that.
dropped in a super chat. Cheers, our kid. He says, you mentioned in the past it's impossible to do United 11, but would you be able to do a best team to play against United 11? Ooh. Again, maybe not, because I'm only going to be able to talk about my lifetime. Yeah,
but this annoys me. I'm glad you do that, because when people say, you know, when like Scousers who are 20 say Kenny Dalglish was better than... And Eric Cantona
we're putting Dixie Dean in as well.
How do you know that?
Head.
You've literally never seen him play other than some 10-second footage of a goal. That's
like, because anyone goes all-time United 11 and doesn't put Tommy Taylor in it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, was Dennis Viollet worse than Andy Cole?
Look at Tommy Taylor's goal record.
It's like, you don't know, do you? So I always, when I've been asked to do this, I always just do the players I've seen, because I can't go off clips.
What's the best performances? Ronaldo being one. I think anyone could agree on that.
Yeah.
Ronaldo for Real Madrid in 2003.
That's up there, innit?
That was, I mean, I've asked older Reds and I don't think I've ever got an answer on this. Certainly not a yes.
Yeah.
I remember that happened. No one's ever said that to me. But are you even aware of like an opposition fucking player scoring a hat-trick against us, knocking us out of a cup and getting a standing ovation?
No.
Doesn't happen.
No.
You get someone thrown at you, you're not getting a standing ovation.
I know it's not a cup, but Dennis Bailey didn't get a standing ovation in 91, did he? David Bentley, do you remember David Bentley got an hat-trick against us? Blackburn. I know, but you're mad. Imagine doing that if you're a United fan.
Imagine.
Applauding David Bentley, like, what you do? Out.
Yeah, and here's the thing, it was the zeitgeist. It was everyone in the crowd kind of did it at the same time. It wasn't like one guy stood up and was like, sit down, you absolute tit. Because if you'd have, like, let's say, remember when Benteke scored an overhead kick? If you'd have stood up and gone,
mate,
that was a good
goal. We're all
goal.
Fighting, aren't we?
Yeah, someone's about to glass you.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you doing? Yeah, get out. Like, 100%, mate.
When we played Celtic in the... Stop it, Alex. When we played Celtic in the... in something, Champions League, we won it. What else the fuck do we play them in? League Cup.
Well, we used to play for testimonials, didn't we, years ago? Do you remember?
They scored. Someone fucking jumped up in front of us and got Cantona kung fu kicked in the fucking back of the head, which is what's meant to happen.
Yeah. What are you doing?
You don't clap opposition players. It's just not a done thing, but Ronaldo got that. And in terms of like, oh my God, performances, he stands out. Kaka destroyed us.
The only caveat I had with Kaka is we were decimated in defence, weren't we? We had like John O'Shea, Gabriel Hines or whatever.
Well, Gabriel Hines was player of the fucking year.
I know, but we moved him centre back and it was like he was diving in everywhere.
He made Rojo look conservative.
Yeah, he did. And it's like, oh my God, what is he doing? Which we loved and he was player of the year, but you're right. But no, Kaka's like, it was a performance where you go, I know we still won, but those goals more or less won them the side, didn't they? And, you're like, fuck, But yeah, there's not many where I've gone. Almost like kind of a privilege to watch this.
Yeah,
Do you know
not
what I
many.
mean? Like,
Not many.
kind of, lucky to be witnessing that, even though I hate it.
Yeah, even though I've seen Del Piero maybe one in the 90s.
It's a good shout.
Couple times he fucking
was
done
like,
us.
yeah. I'd have loved him at United. Like, Barry Stewart used to pop up a bit
He
as
did,
well.
but
didn't
I
it?
never.
But wasn't like a.
I
no.
never was like, oh my,
yeah.
watching greatness here.
No, it was like.
I think I had that with Del Piero. Though.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from with that. It's weird, isn't it? Because
I'm trying to think.
it's
if I
weird
ever saw
because like
Maldini.
I
sure
know
he must
what
have done.
obviously in terms of the best opposition player we've probably seen in the flesh is probably Messi, but I've never seen a performance of him where I've gone like, that's a privilege to be witnessing this. Like, do you know what I mean? It's always been like he's a very he's obviously world class like, but that R9 was the one where it's like
He played us. Did he play us at home? I don't think he played at home, did he?
who?
R9. When we played him in Champions League in '98, I don't think he played. I think he played away.
I can't remember. Mate. I don't know. Was he not in the Bayern or was he still at Barca?
No, he was in.
Right.
He went
Oh,
to-
sorry. Yeah, you are talking about it. Sorry. Yeah, because I remember it was. I just remember Zamorano for them in '99. Was
Yeah,
the
'cause
one.
he had 1+8.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right. I don't think he played us at home.
I think he played away.
Yeah, and it was like
But I think he was having knee trouble then anyway. So
it's
he
weird,
was-
isn't it,
he was-
with R9 because
Yeah, and he was
even
like-
like that time by Madrid, probably past it.
He was fat.
That's what I mean. He's like
He was fat and 4 years past his prime.
he's got actually.
Scored hat trick. It was on the other day, right? We watched it. We watched it upstairs. I remember going, he's fat. Look at him. He's fucking annihilated.
He's overweight and he's just so. Like
think-
an amazing United
I
side.
think it was Rio and Sylvester, I think, at centre half.
So it's not exactly shabby.
Sylvester was still decent at that
That's
time.
what I mean. It's like
Was it really? I'm pretty sure it was. Pull it up for us, please, Callum.
either way, that 2003 team.
Let's pull the defence up, actually.
We won the
Let's
league.
entire
We weren't
defence.
like
It
this
was John
wasn't.
O'Shea at fullback, I think.
This wasn't a shit United side or time when not shit, but in the Fergie where we had a couple of bad seasons, whatever. This wasn't one of them.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we won the league.
That's what I mean. So
You know, we had Rude up front. Beckham had been dropped, which was the big news.
oh yeah, because he played Veron, didn't he, at right wing, and Beckham on the bench.
Come on, scored a free kick.
Didn't he score two? Like not 2 free kicks. Didn't he score 2
It's
goals?
the second goal, yeah,
Yeah.
might have done, yeah. That rings a bell.
So it's just like
What do you say?
Manchester United versus Real Madrid in 2003.
At Old Trafford, the Old Trafford game.
Yeah. But yeah, it was very. It's a shame that with Beckham and Fergie. It's just ridiculous.
He
Like,
could have done another 10 years.
oh mate.
But even that, though, even when he didn't, his career, I mean, he finished at Paris Saint-Germain, didn't he? But he played for Paris Saint-Germain, played for AC Milan, played for Real Madrid. He did what fucking that fraud, that Ardon selling pill knobhead couldn't do, Pele, and made football popular in America. Over
that's
100
the most
caps for
lovely
England.
description of Pal I've ever heard. That
Over 100
Ardon
caps for
pill
England.
selling knobhead.
It was the team, so it was. Oh, what the fuck is that? So apparently Giggs was in that. Right, so it's Bartes. Jesus, that's hard work. Can we find a different?
No, come on, you can do this, right? It's just they've just done a list, and at the top of the list of the teams is Giggs.
Right, so there's O'Shea, Wes Brown. So there's your fullbacks. It was Sylvester and Ferdinand.
Yeah, you called it.
Got that right. So it would have been Keenan and Butt in midfield.
Yeah.
I think this was a 4-2-3-1. This.
And Veron was on the right wing, 100%. Giggs on the left.
Oh no, I think Veron was in the 10. Solskjaer was on the right. Giggs
No,
was on the
no,
left.
I'm
Yeah,
tell-
Solskjaer was playing. He played
No,
Solskjaer
because
right wing.
in Beckham's book, he kicks off because he was said he'd been dropped a couple of times for Ollie playing on the right, and Ollie'd been playing really well on the right, and he didn't mind that. But for this game, Veron was on the right, so he was fuming. That's the only reason I'm pretty sure that Veron was on the right, because if Beckham says there was no in his head there was no justification for dropping me and putting Veron there. Like if he said if it was Ollie, I could have lived with that because it's Ollie in it. But
Well, Fergie decided he was going, and that was that.
and Fergie has these slightly stubborn ways, doesn't he? Bless him. But looking at that team, I mean, it's a strong United team, that, isn't it? O'Shea, right, let's have it out. O'Shea, for me, was robbed of the Young Player of the Year award that year. He was
Yeah,
mint.
and Nicky Butt and Roy Keane, especially in 2003, it's not a fucking. I mean, let's leave their team out. So it's Casillas.
Yeah.
He was all right. Right, here's how we're going to fuck this up because, again, it's not written down right. So, McManaman. Right, the defence would have been Hierro, Roberto Carlos.
Yeah.
Who else has played in defence there? Fucking not a clue.
Well, I'm going to have you work.
Alguera,
Yeah, I mean,
Salgado. Is that the rest of the defence? And then
think so.
midfield, Zidane, Figo, Guti, McManaman. And then up front, Figo and Ronaldo. They were all right.
mate. Loving that, and he's McManaman. Aye. Went to Real Madrid.
He did all right there.
Won
He won
two
Champions Leagues.
Two Champions Leagues, yeah. He wasn't even a regular. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Mate, look at the bench as well for him. Can be some.
He's got a better bench, us or them. I think we have.
Oh, yeah. At the top. I almost missed the one at the top there.
Beckham,
Yeah.
Pinev,
Yeah.
Quentin Fortune, Larry White,
Diego Forlan.
Forlan, Fletcher and Ricardo, that legend.
Who've they got? Cambiasso.
Dominguez, who? Pavon, no. Solari, Zololi, Portillo, and the only one that's worth a wank there is Morientes.
Yeah. Rubbish, mate. Lucky he's great for him.
It's great for him. They win it that year, yeah. They win it that year, yeah.
No, that was the worst final in the history of football. It was the Juventus AC Milan final.
Oh, was it Old Trafford?
Yeah, where both teams decided to forego football and play for penalties.
I remember now, it was at Old Trafford, yeah. My mate jibbed in wearing a Guinness outfit.
I was in Malia and we watched it, and I think I fell asleep outside some bar watching it. It was that boring. I mean, obviously the 12 fish bowls didn't help, but you get where I'm coming from. Nikhil Prakash in the super chat says, instead of spending money, Sancho and co, can we poach Leicester's entire scouting network? They lost their best defender and still are doing great. Maddison and Didi, Fofana, Justin and Barnes. Leicester do have very good scouts, but I think the thing with Leicester is they have the ability, they have these signings, and they have the patience and the ability to bed them in, to let them progress, and to sort of, you know, make Leicester type signings that I don't know if would work at United, because I think that, like, those players, some of those players like Ndidi and Maddison, you probably have at United, but they've had that opportunity, haven't they, to grow at Leicester and to become the players that they are now. Whereas at United, are we going to give them 2 seasons to progress and wait until they're at the levels we need?
We're not, are we?
No.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, we're not going to go, all right, Maddison, you're not quite there yet, but we'll keep playing you until you get there, even if it takes 18 months.
No, if you don't come in and put in a 10 out of 10 season, sell him, shite.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the same. So, whilst you're right, I'm not disputing.
I saw this
the
before,
argument.
which was
I just
about
don't think it's the same.
all the goals that we scored the most goals this season. And someone put, he's only spent 15 million on attackers, by the way. And I went, actually, it's less than that, because you got to take away the fact that he got rid of Lukaku, who's, you know, mashing goals in over in Milan, and Sanchez. I don't know where Sanchez is now.
Is he not still there?
Is he Inter?
Let us know. We keep tabs on him.
Has anyone seen Sanchez?
Is anyone? Alexi, wherefore art thou? Here's a good question for you. Ross Murphy.
Hi, Ross.
Hi, mate. You're having a dinner party. You can only take 5 from the 99 treble winning side. Who would you invite?
Fergie.
Yeah. Right, Fergie. You're going to have Beckham then, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm having Keno.
Are we inviting 5, are we?
All right, go. You give your 5 and I'll give you mine.
Fergie, Beckham.
Yeah.
Tempted to say York and Cole, you know. Come as a pair.
Yeah, you couldn't invite one, not the other.
Imagine.
I don't think. Well, if you invite York and not Cole, York won't come.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I can't
So
do
I
that.
think
I can't do that to Andy.
I think Paul Scholes is wittier than he lets on.
Drying it. I think he's. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
And I think he brings the best out in Keno. But how do you leave gigs out?
Mate,
Tell us some stories about shagging gigs here.
Can I invite Peter Schmeichel so I can give him grief?
No, you're not. There's a rule. If you invite a treble team, you just have to be nice.
All right, fair enough. I can't argue with that rule. I'd similar to yours, but someone swapping with Yapstam. I'd get nervous around Yapstam. A good nervous, like. I don't usually tend to get that nervous around certain players, but I'd be like, because he is the greatest defender I've ever seen. And I love Rio, and I love Vidic, and Steve Bruce is underrated.
Stan was all that, plus about 4 stone of muscle, plus like some sort of weird serial killer mentality.
Yeah.
He was hard.
It's interesting, that book you got me to read about Yapstam, Soccernomics.
Oh, yeah.
Where they misread the data on him. And they were sort of thinking, his powers are on the wane because he's not making as many tackles.
8 years later.
Powers out on the wane.
8 years later, winning the Champions League.
Yeah. He doesn't need to make as many tackles, and no one's coming near him.
Because you didn't factor in the death stare.
What's that? No, I'll go out to the wing. What do you mean you're the striker? Shut up. I'm not going near you, Amsterdam. Yeah, so I agree. I mean, listen, you can't go wrong with that team. Jonathan Green in someone saying Jesper Blomqvist. Must be mint being Jonathan Green in that team, isn't it? Come in. Come on, you know what I mean? United.
But even the likes
Get
of
a
West
medal
Brown,
at the end of it.
West Brown's got a Champions League medal from 99.
But he earned it. He played in the group.
He played.
Come
right,
on.
He played.
Yeah.
So factual play.
Yeah.
Right.
He made a contribution to that trophy.
He's funny though when you talk to him. You're like, "What do you think was going on?" He's like, "I thought it was going to happen every year." It was like, now I'll get in the first team. And I'll win. I know. When I finish my career, 9 or 10 Champions Leagues, something like that.
Was he 19 at the time?
Yeah.
So imagine that being 19-year-old. And it's like...
I've won everything.
Yeah.
Completed football, mate.
Yeah, completed. What's that? What have you won? Champions League and the Premier League. What? Joven, mate, I won in one season. First season. Isn't that what everyone does?
Where am I going from here? It's got to be a 300
Funny
cap
enough,
for England,
it's like that top you're wearing. Brian Kidd won it on his birthday, didn't he?
Was it his 18th or his 19th?
I don't know. I'm tempted to say 19th. Yeah. And scored. Do you know what I mean? That's mad.
Who got man of the match?
Who got man of the match in that game? I'm going to guess Charlton. Oh, no, John Aston. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I knew that one.
Do you know what he does now?
No, was it he?
Sells dog food.
Fuck. Really?
100 mile, he's got a shop.
Really? That's mad, that, isn't it? David Hurd used to have a motor car shop near in Urmston, in Flixton. Do you know what I mean? No, like, oh, you're set for life when you're a footballer. Now he's selling dog food after he was the Champions League final winning man of the match, sorry.
Alex A says Scholes put Stam and Rio in his all-time 11 and he's played with Vidic.
Not Vidic. Yeah, that's my order. The way you've read that out, Stam, Rio, Vidic. That's my top 3 order. Of Premier League defenders. Ever. Peter Kelly. The clip of Scholes laughing at Gerrard when he says he's never won the league when they are both on BT's quite.
So try and do it.
He's not allowed. He's like,
and then he just got his face goes.
He's so.
He's just a red, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's all of us at home going, yeah, but he's on air at the time.
It's so good. It's so subtle. It's brilliant. It is.
Because he almost here and goes, I've never won the league. So and he's like, whoever was the cameraman just like, Scholes.
That's so good. I love that.
That's why I think Scholes would be great.
I get the impression with Scholes as well. He's not really into doing things like that. I don't think he's that like Neville loves it, doesn't he? Like Neville's like, give me a mic, give me. Rio loves it. He's full of beans, loves doing it. I think Scholes is like, I'll do it. I'm not really, that bothered. Do you know what I mean? He's like pretty laid back.
I think he'd like to coach. I don't think it's a coincidence that he jumps at the chance when Giggs was in charge at United.
Yep.
Get me in there. I think he's had about 3 goals at Salford. He obviously had a go at Oldham.
Yep.
Where he signed Ronaldo Brown. Can we not talk about that more? Because that's madness.
It is. I remember like when I first chatted to you about Ronaldo, and he was like, I've got this lad when he was Ronaldo Brown. Played for Oldham with Scholes. I was like, what? None of this sentence. His name for starters, I've got a lad called Ronaldo. What? He's at Oldham with Scholes here. What is happening here? And now he's at Paddock.
He was the manager when he was first team manager when Ronaldo signed.
It's meant that is quality. And now he's at Paddock. Career trajectory.
Because this is a guy that's a journalist and a content creator now, whether he likes it or not. And you're like, talk to me about what Paul Scholes sessions is like. It's all right. There's insight here, Ronnie, you knobhead.
To be fair to Ronnie, though, part of it, I think, is he's got a lot of humility around all that. Like, he doesn't go, I was at the Scousers and I was, like, me and you would be going, we never shut up about it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
fact.
Yeah, fact. Constantly. This is what this hour would be. Just me and him going about the time we was at
when I was
Yeah, when I was at Oldham Scholes, played for him, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where Ronaldo was like, So fair play to him. Yes, Ross Murphy says that cameraman needs a round of applause. He does. Here's one for you today. I know the answer, but I'll ask you. It's what called is a rhetorical question. City lose at Anfield, United winning the league. Why can't you just be overhyped and just ridiculous and stupid about it like some others? Why are you being like logical and that? I don't like it when you're logical.
I've seen what it takes to win a title, and I don't see this in this team yet.
I want to throw some at you, right?
I bet you do.
No. We don't advocate that sort of behaviour at Paddock.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we don't advocate. You just do it. There's a sort of the theory is right, which you've alluded to, and others have said in the past that maybe next season or season after that is our best chance. What I would ask you though is there not a counter argument where you could say maybe this is the time now, because I think it was Ronaldo actually who made this point when we interviewed James Cooper, and I think it was a really good point to be fair to him. Cavani is hit the ground running. Is he going to be better next season? I don't know. Pogba, is he going to be here next season? No. And he's effective this season. Whether you like Pogba or not, he is effective. Is now not the time? Right, and plus, sorry, my other point that Ronaldo made, I'm nicking his points out, was the Scousers have had, I don't know if you've heard they've had an injury. Have you heard about this? They don't like to talk about it.
To be fair, they're the only teams I've had an injury, so you can understand why they're upset.
Yeah, so they've had an injury. City, admittedly, are getting their act together a bit, but they're not quite vintage.
They've not been invincible.
Yeah.
They've not been as good as they have been in the past.
So,
and I think that the lack of pre-season is manifesting itself in loads of different ways. And I thought if United had stumped the dosh up and brought a first team right-sided forward, I might have got behind the hype train.
Right, fair enough.
But I think that our lack of pre-season, unless he's playing an absolute blinder with the likes of Tellez and Van der Beek and just some of the players who just, why isn't he playing?
Yeah.
Because guess what, fucker? He's going to play all the games from end of Feb to the end of the season.
That would be
Can you imagine? If
unreal
he's played that card, boom.
Genius.
Stop moaning about Van der Beek because he's playing every week, right? If that's how it ends up going down, fucking Christ, what genius that's been. Knowing that's what it's going to be.
If that happens, I think we should just go down Old Trafford ourselves and carve a statue out of a nearby bollard of Ollie. Because that is ridiculous. That would be mint management if that is the case. Because everyone is like, the team's announced,
And it's 5 minutes of meltdown.
It is meltdown, isn't it? Van der Beek, which always surprises me because you look at it and you go, all right, who's in our midfield? All right, yeah, pretty good. And then, well, why is Van der Beek not playing? It's not like we've got a midfield made up of no disrespect to the guys, but like Pereira and players like that, we've got a very good midfield, one of the best in the world.
When you think that we've gone from Pereira, Lingard, Mata week in week out, to now Bruno, Pogba, Freddie McTominay be doing bits. Matic comes in pretty good every time he comes in, and then the occasional cameo from Van der Beek.
Mate, we rested Pogba at 1-9-0. What's that about?
Some might say that was why. And maybe we'd win every week 9-0 if he didn't play.
People are going to be like, look and see what Steve said. No.
I'm a joking face.
Yeah.
Go on. There's an argument to say, well, everyone's all over the gaff.
Yep.
Going for it and going, fucking, let's go.
Yeah.
Before they all get their act together in the summer.
Yeah.
If it's going to cost you 40 million to win a league. What's that worth in commercial stuff to be Premier League champions again?
Yeah.
It's a lot of cash, I would say.
Unreal.
So, if I was in charge, if I was named Glazer, I didn't have hair on the top, but I had a ponytail.
Right,
I had one of them things going on.
Yeah.
I lived in Florida.
Yeah.
I'd have said fucking do it. I'd have gambled. Gamble!
I've always said this, you can have your cake and eat it. We all hate the Glazers. We know that, the parasites and all that shit. The disgusting what they've done to our club. But I also think they're a bit thick.
Yeah.
Because I think if
the noise disappears when we're good.
Yeah, and also, if you spend that money, like you just said, we win things, and you make more money.
Yeah.
Like, it's a win-win for you, but they're that thick, they don't. And then they'll just say, all right, we'll scrimp and scrape.
Do you know the worst thing to happen to the anti-Glazer campaign? They buy the club in 2005. 2006, summer, we sign Michael Carrick. People are still fuming at this point.
Yeah.
You give him fucking number 16. That was Roy Keane's number.
That.
Who the fuck is
remember
him?
Like people
Who
fuming
the fuck is
about
it?
the price?
Yeah.
What was it, 16 million or so? It was around that amount. I know it's the number 16, but it was around that amount. 18, it might have been 18 million. 18 million, Michael Carrick. Fucking game's gone.
Yeah. Oh, people are absolutely fuming. Is this our fucking ambition? Signing Michael fucking Carrick. And then we win the league that year.
Yeah.
And then we followed it with a pretty decent year. Ronaldo's banging in fucking goals like you bet he couldn't. And then we win 3 titles on the fucking spin. That Glazer out shit just got shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then it reignited again in 2010. Why? Didn't win the fucking league. It reignited again recently because we're not doing good. Most people, sadly, don't give a fuck.
No.
I always give a fuck.
I know.
But most people, truly, don't give a fuck. I took a Love United 8 Glazer flag to Afghanistan. If you search fucking
on
the
your
Apaches
Chinook
and
or
all
whatever.
that,
Apache, sorry, I don't know the helicopters.
I've always given a fuck about that.
Well, you was part of the flash mob and all that, weren't you? You was
Allegedly.
You was doing things that are highly illegal in terms of fighting allegedly. So, it annoys me when I hear that.
That don't work. And you go, well, we're no longer in Nike, Ladbrokes, and any other establishments.
What's that attitude? That's not that don't work. And I will never, I've always said this, like certain things, when I've seen those protests, I've thought it's doomed to failure. I thought, I don't know if that'll work. I don't know if that's the right idea.
Flying a banner over the ground ain't going to work.
But I respect people that do that. Do you know what I mean?
The absolute mad fucking like protests that we had outside Old Trafford, the ones with the not for sale banner, that got a lot of public attention. It was front page on a lot of papers. It didn't work because we were for sale and we got bought.
Yeah.
But I thought that felt more impactful. That felt more like there was a United fan base in that.
Yeah.
And it's lost its way a little bit since then. But from the Glazer standpoint, if you want to be on the Glazer standpoint from this, make us successful, and most of that noise goes away. There's always going to be a faction that's like, if you want to really shut us up, be successful. Yeah. Because the majority will just quieten down. Because how do I know this? Because they did.
Yeah.
Because we won 3 titles back to back and was in Champions League finals. And even though we had a fucking profit on transfers, we were fairly content. People were still angry, but it's not the just fucking absolute nonsense that we see now.
No.
But they're not prepared to...
they're just thick and they're greedy, and it's not a good combination for owning Manchester United. Harry Johnson says in the super chat, I'd go on the piss with Teddy Sheringham, best shagger in United history. I mean, you could have, that's a debate that you could have for the ages, that.
I absolutely would love to see that.
Isaac Dayton, also in the super chat, says, what happens with De Gea and Hendo next season? Both keepers should be number one where they play. Bad to sell Romero if one of their departures is imminent. Is it imminent? Do you think that's going to happen? I mean, the obvious sort of one who would go out of those two is Henderson. He's not playing.
I don't know if it is imminent, but I thought this year was a big year. Like, if De Gea had a season like he had last year, the noise for Henderson to start would be deafening. He's had a pretty good year. I wouldn't say he's been mint, but he's had a pretty good year.
Yeah, sorry,
pretty good.
I was reading something now.
So I don't think there's a lot of noise demanding it be Henderson. But I also think Henderson, when he's played, hasn't come in and made it a fight.
Yeah, he's not.
You've had kind of two all right performances from your keepers. No one's been bad. No one's been good. So John, you think that they're going to have to make a decision here, and they just don't.
Yeah.
I think they won't, and they'll let it last another year, in which case you might be ruining Henderson's career, and you might not necessarily be doing yourself any favours with De Gea either. So I think that there probably should be a decision. I don't think there will be a decision.
Would you stick with De Gea, you personally? Would he be your first choice goalkeeper?
No, because I want to play a slightly different kind of way, and I think with the way the game has changed with that playing it out through the box malarkey that they've done now, which I don't like either, I think he adds a bit of extra pressure to us. Unless he could fix it. If he can fix it, yeah, because I think his overall game is probably a little bit better. But I also don't really like how he commands his box. And I want my keepers to come out and claim shit with violence, and actually that's his weakness.
No, I'm kind of, and you can like both of them. They're not mutually exclusive. I do like De Gea and I appreciate what he's done for us. But I've always felt that
I don't think Hendo's took his place though.
No, it's not. You have to put in a performance where you sort of no excuses there. It's like, wow, look at this. You need to claim every ball. You need to bollock your left winger. Yeah.
You need to be like...
Yeah, it's like this guy is what we've been missing. And then was it against Sheffield United where he had the mistake? Okay, made up for it, but he's still a clanger. And it's like he's done okay when he's come in, but he's certainly not...
Got to take it.
Stamp, like, this is me. You can't drop me now.
De Gea's had an all right season, like we said. He's not been amazing. He's just been kind of all right. And I think if he can come in and take it, I don't think anyone will have a problem with that. But he hasn't took it. No. So it's probably still De Gea's on past performances from over the years.
Now, someone was saying like the video as well. There's not enough likes. Someone was commenting there. So yeah, like the video. Unpopular opinion, I rate Romero, says Sander Notch, higher than Hendo. No, I think I like Romero, and he's been a good servant over the sort of the times he's come in, obviously the Roper and stuff in 2017. But I think, it's time for him to move on. And I don't necessarily like the way it's gone down. But yeah, it is time to move on. What time is it? How long have we been going for?
Yeah, could do a wrapping.
Wrapping this up. I think we covered everything there, looking towards the game against Everton as well. We had a good little chat about that.
I mean, we went so in depth.
Yeah, in depth.
Most of you probably won't remember it because it was that
Analytical.
that deep.
Yeah.
And analytical about the very specific fixture that we're playing tomorrow.
Like we always do on this podcast, we always get to the nitty gritty of the upcoming fixtures and everything about that.
Briefly touched on some stuff from the past.
What was it you call this podcast?
Dipped in and out.
We're gonna
Remember when we were mint?
Remember when we were mint? I'm all for that. Remember when we were mint? Do you know what I mean? Miles Van Eaton in the super chat says, "What player in the squad has improved most this season? What player has regressed? Easy to say Tony for the latter, but where has Brandon been? He's your pal there, Brandon. What's happening with him? He's doing all right, and he's still
not a clue. Played all right in the reses the other day, but
wasn't the feeling with Ollie that Ollie didn't want to let him go out on loan? Was that? Am I getting that wrong?
I think that's the guy, the game, yeah, but I'm not sure why.
Because you'd have thought if he's brought in Tellez.
Well, I thought, yeah, get yourself.
Because I want Brandon Williams to play football. That's my main worry. I mean,
very vital that you get games in between like 18 and 21. If you don't, you don't progress.
And Brandon Williams in the under 23s. Not into that. Do you know what I mean? You've said it. I'm not. David Pritt, me and him were talking about it the other day, and it seems a bit like that's not what he needs to be doing right now with his career. He shouldn't be playing in the 23s. He should be playing first team football, either for Manchester United, someone else. So I don't know. Maybe someone was saying Europa League, but that's only a few games, isn't it?
That'd be so good, wouldn't it, if we had the opportunity to be able to play a little bit more of a fringe 11. Tuanzebe maybe with Bay at centre half, Brandon at right wing, Van der Beek plays 90 minutes, Diallo gets 90 minutes, Dan James gets 90 minutes. Fucking mint. That's actually mint. Yeah. And that's a brilliant utilisation of the squad, because let's be real, none of us give a fuck about the Europa League. If there's a sniff, if there's a 10% chance of us winning the league, fuck this Thursday night caper, rate off.
Yeah.
Let's get stuck straight into the league and, let's use the Europa League. I don't think... The problem is the Glazers have got fucking whatever reasons to progress in the cup. But for me, and I think a lot of United fans would agree, just get 90 minutes in some of these players, because then they're fit and ready if we need them for the league.
Yes, right, mate. And we sort of fell off a little bit of a... Well, it wasn't really the league, was it? It was in the cups last season where we just ran out of steam and everyone was goosed. So you need players that are fit. Courtney Ben says, Flowers of Manchester tomorrow, observed every year in this house. Yeah, always observed there as well. Obviously the anniversary tomorrow. We won't forget that, we never do. Peter Kelly. I think we're going to wrap it up then, guys, because we've been waffling on enough about Everton preview. You've got that already anyway. Steve, you here tomorrow, you? What?
Yeah.
And that's the sort of enthusiasm we're bringing to his analysis.
Fucking hate Saturday night. Joe, I'd love it.
Go on.
I said this before when we were doing a press conference reaction. I'd love it.
Yeah, go on, brother.
Kevin Keegan style with my headphones on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this now, right? I would love it if we was allowed to go to the pub after an 8 o'clock Saturday kickoff. I could get the tram back to town and I could lie to you all saying, yes, I'm doing my review in a minute. I'm just having a drink in here. And then at 4:37, stroll in like, where's everyone gone?
Oh no, we just get...
That's why I would like a Saturday late kickoff.
We get you in the chat, just gobbledygook. All right, lads.
Just waiting on a bus. But yeah, the pubs are shut and it's fucking garbage. But we are covering the Super Bowl on Sunday because we're all
NFL
so
experts. It's all going on here for the game. That's my phone. Apologies. For the game, so we'll have the watch along and all the post match and pre-match stuff. He will be here. He'll be giving you his analysis as well. And then go on, you can plug that. What's happening on Sunday for those that don't know.
We're on Twitch if you like Twitch. And you like Super Bowl.
Business. Oh right, sorry. Yeah, go on.
And we like drinking. We've got Joe Smith.
Right.
We've got
Joe McGrath. This to me.
We've got Ronaldo.
Right. How long's this on for?
5 hours.
5 hours. And what are you doing?
Getting fucking ruined.
So you got 5 hours. You lot drinking rum
and eating chicken.
And you're live, are you?
Yeah.
And this is on your channel,
Twitch.
Right, on Twitch. Right. I just want to know from a legal point of view, am I liable anyway? Am I connected to any of this?
Nah, I think we're good.
Right, good. That's all right then. So yeah, go and check them out on Twitch because it does what when you think of him 4 hours, them lot are like drinking rum and eating chicken and Super Bowl's on. With Joe Smith involved as well. And I've seen some of the shit that's going down there as well. I went upstairs before and I was like, I don't even want to know. Right. So you need to check that out if you're into that. So even if you're not into Super Bowl, you can check out these little being 11 and being funny.
Yeah, because we're not going to be.
They're not going to be analysing the game, are they? So let's have it right. And we'll be here tomorrow. Adam McCullough will be here. Joe Smith will be here. Howson's here. And then we'll be hearing from the likes of Andy Tate and all our others after it as well for United versus Everton. Also, the preview will be here. Preview will be out later on tonight. So that's been Stephen Howson. I've been Jay Motti. This has been Stretford, Paddock, Howson's Brew. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.